Time for our final presentation for Projects Live here on April 12th, and this one is regarding Box Secure Storage at Case Western Reserve. Here to present is Lisa Previtt. Lisa, over to you.
Thank you, Tyler. So what is Box? Box is a secure cloud storage platform. Using Box, you can create, edit, and store files. Box also allows you to share and collaborate with others, both internally and externally. So why use it? First and foremost, Box is secure. All content in Box is encrypted in transit and at rest. Over 90% of Fortune 500 companies use it, and it's the only cloud service currently approved for sharing restricted data, as needed, inside and outside of the university. Examples of restricted data include things like personal health information, social security numbers, birth dates, and credit card transaction data. More generally, Box can replace file sharing practices that rely on flash drives, Aegis keys, file servers, fax machines, and VPN. By using Box, you can reduce the risk of not having your files when you need them. As long as you can access a browser, you can access your files. Also, since Box will be provided to students, faculty, and staff for free, it could help with expenses that may have otherwise been unavoidable. There are other benefits. As I mentioned before, as long as you can access a browser, you can access your files. This means that you could use multiple devices without worrying about having copies of all your documents on each device. It also means that you can save space on devices that may not have very much space to begin with. Along with this, you no longer need to take up email space associated with sending large files to other people. Using Box, you can send links in lieu of files that are too big for email. Finally, unless you're in a situation where you need to work with your files without internet access, there is no need to download or store local copies. Unlike other cloud storage systems, you can create and edit any document type without downloading or switching programs. As long as you have the program installed on your computer, you can use Box directly to work with it. So Box was originally implemented for a very specific and narrow purpose. It was provided to researchers who needed to store and share restricted data. With this being the case, the Box folder structure and the practices surrounding the use of Box were geared towards this audience. But as I previously explained, there is benefit to providing Box to all students, faculty, and staff. The intent of the Box project is to accomplish this in a planned, deliberate manner. So in order to implement Box as an enterprise solution, a new project team was formed. It became apparent that some of the historical decisions may need to be revisited. With this in mind, the project team spoke with other universities that successfully implemented Box to get some general information about how Box was implemented. During these conversations, we determined what went well and what didn't during their implementation. From there, we began some early project planning and testing with small groups. During this time, we were able to reevaluate the folder structure and some of the early decisions. We were also able to identify people within ITS who could become Box subject matter experts. So next steps. In order to ensure successful implementation for everyone, there are a few items that the project team needs to complete. Before Box can elevate, we need to ensure that the verbiage in our contract reflects that we have unlimited storage. That way we can move forward with the confidence that Box can be used without space limitations. Also, now that some of the decisions surrounding what users will be entitled to see and do upon login have been finalized, there is work that needs to be completed in order to ensure everyone gets provisioned and that proper security policies are abundantly clear to users. As part of the project, we plan to identify as many departmental folder requirements as possible. Requirements include things like who needs to have departmental folders, who should own and co-own these folders, and what type of data needs to be housed within those folders. Along with this, departmental administrators who will be responsible for the ownership of the folders will be identified and trained. Any departmental folder requirements missed during the implementation itself will go through a request process, which is being finalized right now. There are a few deliverables surrounding training and support that also need to be completed. So clear roles related to responsibility for the service need to be defined, and everyone plays a part. Each individual user and departmental administrator will need to understand how to use the tool and where to go for help. As part of making Box operational, the service desk will need to know how to best support it, the escalation path will need to be clear, and training will need to be intuitive and structured in a way that makes it easy for people to learn. Finally, there are multiple tools used to create, store, and share files right now on campus. As part of this project, we plan to publish a guide explaining the differences. For example, if the ability for multiple people to edit the same document at the same time is important to you and you aren't storing restricted data, Google Drive might be better for you. If you require robust automated workflow, OnBase might be the right choice for you. Knowing these differences up front can save you from potential issues later. The plan is to complete these deliverables and implement Box enterprise-wide during summer 2016. With that, are there any questions?
Thank you, Lisa, for that update regarding Box. So we have one question for you here. So, will Box be available to members of the university community in the near future, and what's your anticipated time frame for that?
Yes, we plan on implementing this by summer 2016, so probably mid to end summer, and it will be available to all students, faculty, and staff.
Some thanks, Lisa. Second question for you. Is Box intended to be a replacement for any services at the university now, like Google Drive, or will it exist in conjunction to those services with some tools and resources to help people find their way to the best possible solution for them?
Thanks, Tyler. It will exist in conjunction with those tools. And like I mentioned before, there'll be a guide that is created so users can kind of differentiate what tool to use and what works best for them in their situations.
Awesome, Lisa. Thank you for the update.